Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Sure.
That's a lot for my little mind to absorb right now. So I'm the type that likes it in piecemeal.
Okay, very good.
Okay, so first of all, I like the nibble mode.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, so how in the world did you get started training dogs?
Well, I had a good friend of mine who became a dog trainer, and he had some friends who were dog trainers, and I saw a demonstration of a dog, and I was intrigued, and I started working with my friend, and then I took a course and learned how to become a dog trainer.
So how long have you been doing this?
35 years.
Oh my!
Um,
So you must have been like 2 years old when you started, right?
Yep, 2 years old, exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to go back because I was jotting down a couple of buzz things that hit my mind. So you were saying about what pet owners want and what they don't want.
Correct.
So can you pinpoint again? So what do pet owners want right now? What are they asking for?
Well, the phone calls vary anything from housebreaking a dog to a problem dog. Most people want their dogs to come to them when they call them. That's,
okay,
you know, a big thing. Everybody wants their dog to come to them. That's a big thing.
Right.
And then I get a lot of calls where dogs have problems, aggression with children, aggression with other dogs, et cetera, et cetera. So there's problems, animals. Go ahead.
What's the most common one you get? Is like,
well, I handle everything, you know, from like puppies, you know, to problem dogs, to rescue dogs, so.
That's interesting.
Yeah, everything in between, correct.
How do you see a comparison of, say, because I have 2 rescue dogs, and I will tell you that when I first met Timmy in the shelter, I thought he was going to tear me apart.
Okay.
Because he was very aggressive toward me. He came at the door, and he was barking and snarling and showing his teeth.
Okay.
But within 5 minutes of me sitting there with him, he turned into a whimpering pussycat.
Yeah.
He just it was almost as if he was so fearful. So I'm wondering, how does a rescue dog compare to another dog that do you find any difference?
Oh, well, there's a big difference because a lot of rescue dogs, you know, they weren't socialized, you know, they were kept in the backyard. A lot of them were mistreated. So, you know, they don't have trust, you know. So,
okay. So you're sort of like now you're starting with maybe building trust in a rescue dog versus
correct
something, because it's almost like they have bad habits and you got to correct that bad habit.
Right.
Where you have a dog that's a clean slate.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's interesting. I happen to know both of my doggies are the ones. I have 3, but to the 2 that I just adopted, they both turned out to be very, 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 very wonderful. But one of them is a barker. Barks at just about anything that moves, walks, sneezes, whatever. Anybody knocks on the door, he goes crazy.
Right.
Do you have a lot of people who call and say barking?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Excessive barking, yes.
Now, what do you do with this excessive barking?
Well,
how do you even approach that?
You know, you have to put like a foundation on the dog, and you have to teach them some things, like, you know, and what I want to do, I want to convey 3 words to the dog.
Okay.
And one of them is yes, and yes means exercise is terminated, immediate reward. And good means I like what you're doing, keep it up.
Okay.
And then no means you blew it, try again.
Okay.
So then I start teaching the dog, you know. And there are like 5 objectives in dog training, and I call preschool to 3rd grade is to teach the dog, and that's done with food.
Okay.
And then 4th grade through 8th grade is to get the dog to do it because you tell him to do it, not because you give him a cookie.
Ah, okay.
And then high school is to get them to do it no matter what's going on. So dogs, cats, squirrels, somebody knocking at your front door, downtown Bethesda, just like a CNI dog.
Right.
And then community college I call long distance work, and what's called proof training, where you proof the dog. And then colleges, you don't use a leash anymore. So that's like preschool through college.
Wow.
So the dog has to go through like the phases to get them there.
So, yeah, so you can't pick up a dog and say, okay, sit, stay, and you better listen because, you know, I've just told you that once. Correct. So you better he's hearing blah, blah, blah.
Correct. Correct. And dogs also do not generalize. So
they don't?
They do not. So if you teach a dog to do something in your kitchen, the dog knows that picture. So it's like a kid with autism. You know, if you show a kid a Model T car with autism and Then you tell him to look at another car. He's going to say, that's not a car. The Model T is the car.
Oh, wow.
So a dog does not generalize. So in order to train a dog and get him to work in different areas, first you got to get him to work in quiet. Then the second step is your backyard. Then a little bit more stimulus.
Wow.
And then you have to take them to different places to work. Otherwise, they're not going to work because they haven't been generalized.
So you have to expose them to all different scenarios.
Correct, yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
that takes a lot of work, doesn't it?
It sure does, yeah.
But the rewards are so wonderful because you get such a wonderful companion.
Correct, yeah. That's like Star. She's been up and down the East Coast. She's been in every state, you know, ever since she's been a puppy. So she's been in hotels. I take her in Barnes and Noble in Bethesda. She rides the escalator. She goes in the elevators.
Wow.
You know, so she's been exposed, you know. And it's one thing training a dog, and then it's another thing keeping a dog there.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Yes, you have to continually impress upon them, repeating.
Correct. Yeah, it's like the world champion dog trainer. He engages with his dog every day.
Yeah.
He's doing a little something with his dog to keep it there. You know.
So,
yeah.
So say for instance, if somebody wants to try to get their dog and they got to train, they want to either have you, because I know you go in, you show the owner what to do.
Correct.
And I presume the owner has homework.
Correct.
They have to work with the dog, what, 15, 10 minutes every day, twice a day, 3 times a day?
Correct, yes, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it could be 10 minutes a day. It could be, they could work a dog twice a day.
Short
They
periods,
could work
right?
Short periods, very short periods, yeah.
Okay, so now I also, and I know this is very important, is you gotta get that extra energy out of that dog before they will pay attention to you. Because so you have to exercise and walk them. So how do you do that? Did you decide to walk and exercise before you do the training, or what?
Well, some dogs, you have to take a little bit of edge off of them.
Okay.
And you would exercise them and walk them. But technically, you want to work a dog when they are fresh.
Oh.
And when they're coming out of the crate. So you want to take that energy and you want to channel it.
Oh, okay.
If a dog has been exercised and they've been chasing a Frisbee and they're playing with other dogs, they're just too tired to work.
Oh.
Their tongue is hanging out and they're just not, you know, they just don't want to work at this point. Exactly,
Okay. How we don't want the tongue to hang out.
Exactly.
Oh. Wow, that's, I didn't know that. Okay. So when you talk to an owner, and you tell them, okay, I want you to exercise your dog and I want you to walk your dog. I'm going to say, how much? How long?
Correct.
How far? What's your answer to that?
Well, it depends upon the owner and it depends upon the dog. So if you have a Mastiff, he's only going to require a short walk.
Okay.
You know, so some dogs require a short walk, like a Belgian Malinois, a Border Collie. She needs 10 miles a day.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so she needs, you know, 2-3 good walks.
Yeah.
And then she needs Frisbee. You know?
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and then she still has energy, but that's the breed.
Yeah.
You know, and then some breeds are just laid back and, you know, they're more or less couch potatoes. They don't need a lot. You know?
So that brings up a very important point that I would like to express and tell the viewers, is that when they are looking to adopt a dog, they research that breed, and if it's like a mixed breed, then you decide on how much energy that dog has.
Correct.
And decide on how much time you can spend, because you need to get that walking. I know I walk my dogs every day. I need to walk them more, and I'm trying.
That's right.
But they really need a lot of that, don't they?
Yeah, they need walk and they need exercise.
Okay.
Yeah, playtime.
So, I'm going to put Star and you to the test.
Okay.
I already know that he is really, really good. Okay. But I want to show the viewers that I was like, my mouth dropped on the floor at how good that Star is. And I wish my doggy was good.
Yeah.
So can you give us an idea and show us a little bit about what you do with Star?
Okay, so what I'll do, I'll cover like teaching a dog, you know, how a dog works. And so what I do with her, I have a key word. I ask her, are you ready to work? And when I say, are you ready to work, she knows she's going to work.
And she really looks at you. I mean, she watches you. Her eyes are right on you.
Yeah. So dogs are trained at first with food.
Okay.
And okay means, oops, I think I'm a little bit losing something here.
Yeah, you're losing your microphone.
Yeah.